In a shocking revelation, recently declassified files from the FBI have exposed disturbing details about Jeffrey Epstein, details the world was never meant to see. These files, buried deep in government archives, raise questions about what truly happened behind closed doors and who might have been involved in his vast network of power, manipulation, and secrecy. What exactly do these files reveal? Why were they hidden for so long? And most importantly, what does this mean for those still seeking justice for years? Conspiracy theories have circulated regarding Epstein's surveillance network. His properties, whether it was his infamous Manhattan townhouse, his Florida mansion, or Little St. James Island, were rumored to be wired with hidden cameras. But according to one newly discovered FBI file, these theories were not just speculation. The file, dated 2019, reveals that law enforcement officials were aware of extensive surveillance tapes, allegedly showing high-profile individuals in compromising situations. These tapes were said to be stored in Epstein's safe, along with financial records and blackmail material. One FBI document states that upon Epstein's arrest, authorities searched his Manhattan home and recovered multiple CDs labeled with names and dates. However, another document contradicts this, suggesting that many tapes went missing before the FBI could catalog them. Some sources believe these tapes were intentionally removed, either by those working for Epstein or by individuals within the system who wanted to ensure they never saw the light of day. This raises alarming questions about how deep the influence of Epstein's network truly ran and whether powerful people may have had a hand in erasing the most damning evidence. Another file contains testimony from an unidentified witness who claimed Epstein's surveillance system was designed for one purpose: blackmail. According to this source, Epstein often boasted that his recordings could bring down the most powerful people in the world. The FBI's file indicates that some of these tapes were briefly reviewed, yet no further information was provided about their content or what became of them. The lack of transparency has led many to suspect that key pieces of evidence were suppressed. In another disturbing revelation, one FBI report discusses a hidden underground room on Little St. James Island. This room, described by former employees, was allegedly off-limits to all except Epstein and a select few guests. The file notes that authorities discovered what appeared to be recording equipment and hard drives inside the underground chamber. However, much like the missing tapes from Epstein's home, these hard drives were never officially accounted for in evidence logs. Some researchers believe this suggests an intentional cover-up, one that might involve figures far beyond Epstein himself. Further files reveal testimony from former Epstein employees who described seeing high-profile individuals visiting his properties under highly secretive circumstances. These testimonies were heavily redacted, but certain key details remain. One file notes that staff were instructed never to speak to guests, avoid eye contact, and ignore any strange requests. Another witness statement describes a private jet flight where a public figure allegedly engaged in highly inappropriate behavior. The file lists several passengers, but their names remain blacked out, fueling speculation about their identities. One particularly disturbing document includes a report from an agent who investigated Epstein's financial dealings. It suggests that his wealth was not solely derived from hedge fund management, as he often claimed. Instead, Epstein's money appeared to come from a series of offshore accounts linked to shadowy investors. The document hints at the possibility that Epstein was operating as a financial middleman for individuals engaged in illegal activities. The file also references large sums of money being transferred shortly before Epstein's 2019 arrest, raising concerns that funds may have been moved to protect certain individuals or organizations. Another section of the files focuses on Epstein's final days in jail. Officially, his death was ruled a suicide, but inconsistencies in the reports have long fueled speculation about foul play. One FBI memo, previously classified, details that a security camera outside Epstein's cell was mysteriously malfunctioning on the night of his death. Another report states that two guards responsible for checking on him fell asleep and falsified records. The files also mention that Epstein's cellmate was abruptly transferred the night before his death. Analysis of Epstein's personal black book. The FBI had reportedly been in possession of this book for years, but little action was taken despite the names it contained. The newly surfaced documents suggest that the book contained coded messages and symbols next to certain names, possibly indicating debts, favors, or secret agreements. Investigators also noted that some names in the book corresponded with individuals tied to intelligence agencies, suggesting that Epstein may have been more than just a financier. He may have been operating as an informant or agent for a powerful organization. One file also details an anonymous tip received by the FBI, claiming that Epstein was in contact with high-ranking government officials in multiple countries. The tipster alleged that Epstein provided information to intelligence agencies in exchange for protection. If true, this could explain why Epstein was able to operate for so many years despite multiple allegations against him. The file also references a series of encrypted emails exchanged between Epstein and unknown recipients just weeks before his arrest. While the contents of these messages remain classified, their existence raises more questions about who might have been involved in covering up his crimes. Perhaps the most shocking part of these documents is how many pages remain redacted. Large portions of key reports have been blacked out, leaving the public with only fragments of the full story. Many are now demanding that these files be fully declassified so that those responsible can be held accountable. Legal experts argue that withholding these details only fuels speculation and erodes public trust in the justice system. Victims of Epstein's crimes have also spoken out, expressing frustration that so much information remains hidden. Many feel that true justice has yet to be served, as several powerful figures who were allegedly involved have never faced consequences. One victim's lawyer has called for an independent investigation into why the FBI failed to act sooner and why so many key pieces of evidence appear to have vanished. While Epstein himself may be gone, his case is far from closed. These disturbing files suggest that there are still many unanswered questions, and until the full truth is revealed, the shadow of his crimes will continue to haunt those seeking justice. The question remains, how much longer will these secrets stay buried?